Welcome back to Capitol Review. New polling shows Virginia's governor's race is tightening. A new Roanoke College survey shows just a 7-point margin between the Democrat and the Republican candidates. 46% of likely voters say that they plan to vote for Democrat and former Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger in November. Just 39% say the same for Republican and current Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears. The gap down significantly from the 17-point lead that Spanberger had in the spring. And the race for lieutenant governor, it's a tighter one. Democrat Ghazala Hasmin has a 3-point lead over Republican John Reed, which is within the margin of error. And Democrat Jay Jones with a similar lead over incumbent Attorney General Jason Miyares. Returning to Capitol Review is Dr. Stephen Farnsworth. He is the professor and director for the Center for Leadership and Media Studies at the University of Mary Washington. Dr. Farnsworth, welcome back.
Glad to be here.
We're always glad to have you. Winsome Earle-Sears was able to close the gap in the polls. How did that happen?
Well, I think part of this has to do with Republicans coming together. There wasn't a clear definition of who the nominee was going to be until a few months ago, and now she was uncontested, and so Earle-Sears is now able to really create an environment where she is the choice. The numbers, though, are still not all that great for the Republicans. Even though the gap is closed, that number that was originally out there, the previous polling showing 17% advantage for Spanberger, that always seemed awfully high.
Do you think maybe independents or people are second-guessing Spanberger, or like you said a few moments ago, it's just the Republicans kind of banding together?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with Republicans banding together. One key thing that has happened between these polls was that Donald Trump offered an endorsement of sorts to the lieutenant governor. If you remember, back in the run-up to the 2024 election, the lieutenant governor had suggested that maybe the Republican Party should move on from Donald Trump, and of course that created a lot of resentment among the Trump base in the Republican Party. Now that Trump is offering at least something of an olive branch to the candidate for governor, so the circumstances are a little better for her.
What do you think Spanberger needs to do going forward to maintain her lead?
Well, I think the key issues in this election are really national ones, and so they're really largely out of the control of these candidates. The impact that Donald Trump and his policies are having on Virginia have a significant impact in what's going on in this election. A lot of people are very anxious about the economy, just like they were before the 2024 election, and now, though, it's the Republicans that are getting the blame. You add to that the shutdown and the cutbacks in the federal agencies and federal programs. That's going to have a disproportionate impact on the Virginia economy, where a lot of federal workers work and live, and that's going to create significant problems for any Republican candidate, no matter what they say or do. The old saying that all politics is local, I don't think really works in Virginia in 2025. For this governor's race, all politics are national.
And for Winsome Earle-Sears, between now and Election Day, what does her campaign need to do?
Well, I think one of the key issues is this economic insecurity. And so I think that to the extent that the governor and the lieutenant governor can work together to try to make the case that Virginia is doing better, that is something that can be really quite useful. It would also be useful if the Republicans could work together as a ticket. There's some differences of opinion among the candidates for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. And if they could work more collaboratively, that could also help Republican prospects. For the Democrats, I think the key issue is to just pound the policy of Trump's performance and how that relates to Virginia. That's going to be the key issue that will help the Democrats this cycle.
Dr. Farnsworth, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
And both candidates will participate in a statewide debate. It will be hosted by Norfolk State University and our sister station in Norfolk, Wavy TV. And that's set for October 9th at 7 p.m.